Hi guys, welcome back. This is video 2 in our 3-part video series, and this one is all about the how. How do I safely use essential oils with my family for my own personal use? And that not to be limited to that, but with more education, which is one of the things that we love to offer. You can also safely oil with your pets. So there's a lot to essential oil world, but let's start with the 3 basic safe ways that you can use an essential oil. Okay, so first and foremost, let's talk about aromatically. Aromatically breathing in the molecules of an essential oil is actually the fastest way to get it into your body. Isn't that fascinating? Like, you would think that maybe applying it to your skin, which we're going to talk about in just a minute, would be the faster way. But it turns out breathing in the molecules is the fastest way. So you've got a couple of options if you want to aromatically use an oil. First and foremost, the easy one that requires no extra equipment or anything other than your own hands is a process called tenting. So that would be you taking an oil. This is Valor, which comes in one of our starter sets. It's actually one of my favorite oils. And you would just put a drop of oil on your hands, and then you would cover your nose and mouth and breathe in normally for about 2 minutes. And what that does is the moisture from your breath picks up the molecules of the oil off your hands, breathes it in, and in the case of an emotional response, those molecules now go through your olfactory system, into the limbic portion of your brain, and the limbic portion of your brain controls so much about emotions and temperature and how we feel and our mood. And that's why this is one of the most powerful ways and the simplest ways to use an oil, okay? Now, this is wonderful if you're on the go, if you're at work and maybe you're not allowed to have a diffuser, if you're driving in the car and you decide to utilize, let's say, some peppermint oil to help you be more alert because you're tired from driving a great distance. That's a wonderful way to do that, and it's so simple because it's just applying it to your palm and breathing it in, okay? Most people get really super excited about something called an essential oil diffuser. And this is really the way that a lot of people who are brand new to oils sort of dip their toe into the water. And the reason is it's kind of set it and forget it. It's super, super easy to use. So let's just walk you through the mechanics of diffusing and give you a little explanation. So this particular diffuser has the housing on the outside, the internal housing, and then here's the inside. Now, all essential oil diffusers are pretty much the same makeup. They have a water reservoir. There's a line, which is clearly demarcated so you know how much water to fill in there. And then my recommendation, especially if you're new to oils and you're using a grade A oil like a Young Living oil, would be to start with 3 or 4 drops in the water reservoir. You put the whole thing back together, you plug it in and you turn it on, and a cool mist comes out and allows, what a diffuser does is breaks up the molecules of the essential oil so that it's easier for you to breathe it in. And this particular diffuser, which is our Desert Mist and is one of the options in one of our starter sets, has a lot of functionality to it that most people really like from an aesthetic standpoint. Not only is it beautiful to look at, but it has a candle flicker option, so it almost looks like there's a votive in it. You can leave the light on solid, you can turn it off, and it also has a rainbow color variety. It will kind of go through all the colors of the rainbow, and you can push the button to stop on the one that you like, okay? All diffusers are not created the same, however, so let's just talk about that for a minute. Some things you want to be sure, if you were not going to get a Young Living diffuser, you want to be sure that you check the square footage that it covers. Made that mistake myself early on. Tried to buy a less expensive diffuser. The output was not great. Didn't know what I was doing wrong. Turns out the square footage was for that of like a half bath, not a full size room. All Young Living diffusers, by the way, do cover a full-size room, either 10 by 12, 12 by 14. They're designed for a standard size room. So that's something that's really important. And all diffusers that you purchase should come with a 1 or a 2 year warranty, right? So a decent essential oil diffuser is probably going to run you between 60 and $100. So just know that going in. If you find one that is cheaper, make sure you're reading the fine print to make sure that you're getting something that's really worth it, okay? Because most of the ones that are less than that are just not a deal. The second way that you can safely use an essential oil is through topical application. Now, we do recommend when you are using an oil that you apply it with something called a carrier oil. And essential oils are actually not that oily. It's a little bit of a misnomer. It's a little misleading. In chemistry, they're classified as a volatile compound. And what that means is they evaporate very, very quickly. So if I were to just take, as I did, a drop of Valor and put it in the middle of my hand, within about 10 minutes, most of it would evaporate up and away. And where do I want it? Essential oils only work to support us emotionally or physically if they're in us. And so we want something that's going to hold that in place and make sure that it doesn't evaporate away. And that's what a carrier oil is. It's a heavier, fattier oil of your choosing that you apply with your drop of carrier oil, of essential oil. So what's the most common ones? Coconut oil. Most people have this in their home. So you could just take a little scoop of the semi-solid coconut oil, place it in the palm of your hand, add your drop of essential oil to it, rub your hands together and apply it wherever you wished. Some other common ones that people love, grapeseed oil. My personal favorite is one called V6. This is a Young Living product. It's actually a combination of 6 different carrier oils. And I don't know what magic Young Living has worked, but when you put it on, it all absorbs in and is not oily at all. And it leaves your skin very soft. So that's why that's one of my personal favorites. A general adult ratio for applying an essential oil is a 1-to-1 ratio. And what I mean by that is 1 drop of your carrier oil, 1 drop of your essential oil. Not only will it help with evaporation so that you're not losing your wonderful magical oil up into the air, but it also helps with skin sensitivity, because let's remember, if you're new to oiling, most oils don't have any skin sensitivity whatsoever, but there are some as you progress and get beyond those starter kind of oils that most people start with that could potentially be hot oils like oregano, thyme. They actually have a very warming, burning sensation when you apply them to the skin. So applying them with a carrier oil helps cut down on that. Again, that's where education becomes key, and why I'm so proud of our education group that we run on Facebook, because that's where we really help educate everyone to make sure that they're oiling safely. The third and final way, and this is only an option for some oils, I'm going to say that very carefully. Some oils are approved for internal use, and that means that we can ingest them. Now, why would you want to ingest an oil versus breathing it in or applying it topically? Well, in some instances, let's say you're using an oil to support your digestive system. Guess where it works the best? In your digestive system, okay? But one of the things that I love about Young Living is their educational expertise. So this is the tray out of one of our starter sets. And you'll notice that all the oils across the top have a white label with a color in the middle, and all the ones along the bottom are a solid color. This is Young Living's introductory way to help you first start to learn, when you do get a set, which oils are safe for ingestion. Those would be the white label vitality oils, and which oils might not be safe for ingestion. And again, education is a really, really big piece of this. Now, did you do your homework? Did you go and check and see what bad ingredients are in some of your personal care products? Because here's the thing, we're talking about applying oils, which are a great thing to support you physically, but everything that you apply to your skin, wash your body with, your hair, brush your teeth with, is in your bloodstream within a couple of minutes. whether it is good for you and has those good ingredients in it, or it has those harmful ingredients like we were just talking about. So something to think about, and get ready for video 3.